Okay. Welcome to levelupyourgame.net Czech Republic versus Poland Clanbase Nations Cup 2011 Group A match. This will decide the winner. I'm Disrepute, joined by Vor. Grim Dungeon's the first map. And we're following Creaser to start off with.
Well, we're also missing an Avec from the server.
Oh, that's lucky. We can run down the teams. Creaser, Debtor, Flatek and Frag for the Czech Republic. For Poland we do have Zik, West, Toxic and the disconnected Avec who rejoins the team.
Prepare to fight. 3, 2, 1, fight.
So yeah, Creaser didn't get a very good spawn, although his teammate was the guy in front of him to get the shotgun. In fact, the West has got probably the worst spawn of all, but he's managed to survive such a long time. Actually, I'm not sure if he got the red or not, but he was on his own in that red against the whole Czech team, and they've been able to get the first few frags. Now, this is a double power-up map. Quad and Battle Suit will spawn at the same time for the first spawn, between 30 seconds and 59 seconds, which is why we see Creaser waiting down here for the Battle Suit already. Teams have no idea when this first spawn will be up.
Incredible attack by Avec. But it's such a late power up, it might be for nothing.
Flatek on it, waiting. One more second, and he gets it. It's the latest it could be. Nice jump over, away. Both power-ups, of course, picked up exactly when they spawned. Rockets flying in, a direct hits him. Probably could have done a bit better dodging. He's actually run out of rockets against the quad. This is not going to go well as West manages to frag him, although West's down to 13 health.
Now West missed his chance to get a clean frag on Suit by backing off as Suit went into that red armor pickup point. He had the opportunity to just trap Suit in there with his LG, but he missed out on it.
So yeah, a lot of fighting over this red armor room. All the combat on the map centered in that location at the moment. Good blocking off of this shotgun doorway by Creaser. That's really what you need to do if you're trying to control the red. Stop people rushing in and getting into an open area. But as we see, Poland have moved in and do have position on this red at the moment. So on this map, would you say the red does have the advantage then, Vor?
I think it does, but only if you use it correctly. I think you have to use it and push out aggressively with the changes that have been made. Try and get rocket and red on someone. Just push out mainly towards that rail area.
That's a lovely spawn for Avec, getting a yellow and then the rocket out of it. Creaser goes down to a point blank range. And now Avec racing around this lower area. Really bizarre nades, but would look good if they hit. Gonna get this second lower yellow before Battlesuit. 5 seconds before Quad is also up at the same time. Which will he choose to go to? Just gonna lay low below that rip.
Wow.
What on earth happened there?
He managed to come up that pad and steal the quad. I do believe they were attempting to delay it.
Well, that is the worst thing that could happen. Excellent play from Avec there, though you have to question the Czech's defense of the bounce pad to actually let him land on the quad. But that is why he's one of the best players to watch in TDM. Avec, just so aggressive, so creative. As we follow West, he moves back into the red. It has just run out, the battle suit, so he's moved in a little bit late, but he does survive and gets the frags. Creaser just missing out on a dropped weapon there. Goes down to Zig's rocket, and still so much combat over this red, like both teams really want it so desperately.
It looks like the Czechs have come out on top here though, and well, maybe not.
The frag just pick up the red, although he's so weak he goes down to Zig's rocket. I think it's all going to depend on the timings of the red. If every time one team moves in and attacks and then takes the red, it's going to suit that team. Even if if the other team's holding it for a little bit longer. West trying to hit those rails, misses them. There's the red armor up, and it's going to be Poland. 30 seconds until the battlesuit, so 5 seconds before the battlesuit you can get a red armor, which actually would be perfect time to drop down on it, although it looks like Poland are racing through to the quad.
Excellent.
Interesting decision there.
It was a good decision because the Czechs just didn't have any weapons to defend that quad area with, and it is what you need to do on this map now. Just don't give the team the opportunity to set up.
West has just missed out on that lightning gun, but he's done such a good... Oh my god! The rail came out of nowhere. Zik didn't look up there. There was no one defending the railgun position, and battlesuit goes down, but Poland also had quad.
Yeah, they're very fortunate that that rail shot was made onto the suit and managed to knock him in because, you know, 2 power-ups at this early stage. They don't want to fall behind by too many frags at this point.
West just trying to race around and get that last frag before quad runs out, but he doesn't manage to do it.
Surprised he didn't stay down in that rail area because, you know, they seem to be fine at red. There doesn't seem to be too much pressure on them at all. Or maybe they're looking to push out high this way.
Oh, look at that. West moving in as support with Zik, although it looks like he's just backed off, just accepted Zik is going to hold that. So if we cycle round, let's have a look where the Czech Republic are. On Kreese's point of view now, he does just manage to kill the Polish pair at the lightning gun. And the Czech Republic do control the yellow armour high. Oh, look at that. Counters with the rockets. The 2 Polish players. That could be really dangerous for Poland if Czech Republic are prepared to move in now, but Kreese was looking low and his teammates didn't have any weapons.
Yeah, it's the perfect time to get the kill because, as you say, that was the point at which they were looking to make their attack onto that quad, and, you know, Czech Republic can't afford to give up double power again.
You would have thought Kreese would be the one stacking for the quad. He does go down to Zik. 10 seconds before battlesuit. The quad will follow it by 3. It's not enough time to get to the quad from battlesuit. You need more like 6 or 7 seconds minimum.
Yeah, and Poland are going to put pressure on this quad.
There you go, Frag takes. He's going to go through first man. Oh, good sense.
That was the suit coming through then to meet him, and he'd have been in trouble if he got caught in such a tight area.
Did a good job of backing off. Gets the frag on the guy who doesn't have battlesuit first. That was probably a wiser decision because, yeah, he did eventually go down to Avek's battlesuit attack, and Avek's still stacked. And just see how aggressive he is as Poland. Like, it's not like they control red in such a lockdown way at that point, but he just knew that if you just rush through, you're going to get frags in that upper yellow area, and then you can still move back having not really lost anything.
Yeah, once this wave of attacks dealt with, if they can hold on to red, you know, past this attack, then that's when the Czechs really need to be careful, because once they've dealt with this attack on red, they'll be looking to push out to those yellows.
Yeah, Avek just wants a little bit of health, I think. They're getting so many kind spawns, aren't they, the Poles at the moment? They don't need to move out. Just getting spawn frag after spawn frag at the moment.
Czechs do keep moving in as well. There's a few attacks just came in from that rail area, and you've got to question whether that's a good decision at this stage.
Here we go, through the shotgun doorway. Avek does eventually go down, but look at the difference in frags. But Poland have just pulled out. Actually, it's been quite good timing for the Czech Republic, at least in terms of when battlesuit's due up. 7 seconds. Red's up now. Kreese can take it and land right on the battlesuit in perfect time if he doesn't get blocked by his own teammate. Oh my god! And Poland do miss out. There we go. That was absolutely brilliant play. Poland make sure they get a power up with the quad. Zik takes it. Interestingly, decides to go this route. Not quite sure why he didn't pull out LG a little bit sooner, but he does go down to Creaser. Oh, Creaser's run out of ammo! Oh my god! Oh, almost made the 50.
Terribly unlucky not to pick that up on my screen. He was actually stood in that health, but didn't get to pick it up.
Surprised Zik didn't pull out the shaft sooner though and pin the battlesuit up in the corner once he'd hit the first 1 or 2 rockets.
Yeah, it is difficult to move in against a suit in that position though, because even though he was knocking him up in the air, you know that those rockets weren't actually doing that much damage. Of course, trying to move in while that suit is spamming you with rockets is, well,
difficult to say the least. 30 frags is the difference. Stats from Toxic are looking pretty impressive, as we can see on screen. He rushes in point-blank range rockets. Vatek does go down.
Another direct rocket hit though as he makes his exit, and that's just perfect play. Now, he could have stayed in then and just died, a lot of players might have done that, but moving away was the exact right thing to do.
Just going to cycle around somebody who's more in the combat zone. We're on to Creaser, in fact. You can hear the Polish players above him just pressuring him. Look how aggressive they are, and there's only 20 seconds before the power-ups.
This is what's so difficult now about playing that lower yellow area, because if people are going aggressive with the red armour and with guns, it's incredibly difficult to defend against it.
Battlesuit will be up in a second, followed by the quad damage. West does take it under a little bit of machine gun fire. Debtor going into this lower area, attacking from the rail doorway. He's just going to rush through. He hasn't really got any support, and he should have sent in somebody in front of him really to draw that fire, but he's taken out the battlesuit, drops down with no ammo left on the lightning gun. He's going to really regret dropping there.
It wasn't quite enough, that attack. I mean, he took out the suit, which was good, but he needed to kill, at least 2 others for his team to have a chance in taking that red over.
Oh, lovely rockets from Avec.
And it's going to be incredibly difficult to get Avec away from this position now. If he stays here, then the Czechs are going to have a hell of a time getting rid of him.
Would you say just suggest they should attack red then?
Might look to do that, but it's also going to be difficult because they just won't have enough guns between them.
You can actually hear them on the spectator point of view, not what the players can hear. They're all running around the lower area. Look at what Avic's been able to do. And look at his stack that he's left with still.
Exactly, and they're going to have to wait however long it is until rail and lower rocket are up, if they can even get those cleanly, and have another attempt at getting rid of him.
So look at his stats, 47% lightning gun. Godlike kind of statistics there. We already saw in the Fnatic match the kind of powerful aim play from both them and Bloodface.
Now in the meantime though, Czechs have managed to take away the red, and Kreisler is looking good for if he can get on this battlesuit.
I'm going to just stay on Avec though, because whoever I switch to I know is going to be the wrong person. That's going to switch to the power up anyway. Creaser takes the battlesuit. The quad is presumably going to go to Avec. Are they delaying it? There, he just delayed it a little bit. Should give him the advantage at the end of the power run. There's the battlesuit. Absolutely perfect rockets from Creaser, though Avec. That last rocket was so cheeky, just diving round, hitting the direct. And it really put Kreisler in trouble, that did, that last rocket. Although it was him that actually almost fragged the quad. So, good play from both players there.
Yeah, it was quite, rash from Avec, but, he played it so well, even though he jumped in against the suit, and it's such an advantage. That position is such a massive advantage for the suit to fight in, but Avec was still willing to take the fight, and it nearly paid off.
I've just gone down to Toxic in this lower yellow area. area. He managed to pick up the yellow and a rocket. He's under no pressure at the moment from the Czech.
That's the big difference, really, that, you know, if this was the Czechs in Toxic's position, you just know that Poland would be all over them.
He even got a rail. There we go, Krisa moving in.
But there's the advantage that having red gives, you know. Krisa would not have survived that if he didn't have the red armour. But Toxic couldn't have also done any more than he did. He hit 2 great rockets, but it wasn't enough.
Oh, well, that's another good rocket there, direct on Krisa.
It was a very fortunate hit, but great looking shot.
I don't know why Evic didn't take the rocket already, but Toxic stole it in front of him. Going to switch around and see a Czech player. Yeah, it is Krisa. He's waiting on the rocket launcher. You see his teammates down at rail and at battlesuit. 2 of their players at battlesuit.
5-minute warning.
Surprised that Poland aren't making more of a push onto this suit, because...
Well, there we are, Toxic almost grabbed it off them. In fact, there, Poland. Well, I don't know what's going on. We switched away, but
that is double power up for Poland. That was
excellent.
agonisingly close for the Czechs to being able to pick that up.
And there's Avek with the quad. Probably the worst person you'd want to see.
Yeah, you don't want
Sounds
Avek
a
running
Czech.
at you with quad. Don't want Avek running at you without quad, but with quad it's even worse.
Excellent.
It's,
And that probably will seal the game. for Poland
it's
at this
4
point.
times worse, right, Will?
No, unfortunately it's not 4 times worse. It's 3 times worse with the tri damage.
Right, okay. Makes sense, at least. Yeah, they've just knocked it up to over 40 frags. The difference now, Poland, you have to say, with only 2 cycles of the power-up to go, this first map, Green Dungeons, is probably almost definitely going to go the way of Poland.
Yeah, they've just looked much more comfortable when they've been in control. The Czechs have had, you know, red armour a few times, but they haven't played it the same way as Poland do, which is just pushing out aggressively and really challenging those 2 yellows. And that's where the frag difference has come from.
Been watching Krisa in the map, and what he does is he shares it pretty evenly, all the items, along with his teammates. Would you suggest maybe that they play it more like Austria used to, just stack 1 player? That was Noctis in that case, or UK generally stack Deuce more. Or your
It is an
star
option,
player.
but you know, it puts a hell of a lot of pressure on one player to play a great game, otherwise you're going to have no chance at all.
West does just go down to Frag's last ditch machine gun effort. Oh, Poland's almost grabbing the battlesuit there. Deb top, oh my god, knocks up! Air rocket by
Great
Avek,
rockets from
did
Avek.
survive.
Survive with 2 health.
I can't think he's going to survive very long. And Zik's got the quad in at red here. 83% rail for Zik. There's Debtor going down with their battlesuit. And the quad runs out. Didn't really get too much done with it, but the Poles do have control of red. One more set of power-ups remain before we move on to the next map. Intervention, I believe. We see Zik, prime example of kind of area you want to stand when you're controlling the map. Over this yellow armour. Watching the spawns, blocking off the rail route, although didn't do the best job of that then. Timing that yellow. So, last power-up's coming up in 20 seconds battlesuit. Follow it 4 seconds later. It's quad damage. There's not been much of a delay between the two. Czechs did try to delay the quad at one point. That backfired spectacularly. Havoc's grab. Looks like Poland going to settle for this battlesuit then. Sorry, this quad, as the Czechs take the battlesuit. Frag with a good stack. And then looks like a delay on the quad here. Let the battlesuit move in and then shaft him down, although didn't pay off very well that time.
No, the rocket onto quad was perfect. And these will be nothing more than consolation frags for the Czechs, but you know, it might give them a boost of confidence going into the next map.
Let's run down the last 15 seconds. Impressive display from Poland, Vor?
Yeah, they've played it pretty much perfectly. The aggression they've played with when they've had that red armor controlled by moving out to the yellows has been really good to watch. And in the end, it's been the major difference between the two teams.
Havoc, that star performer there, 40 frags, 28 deaths. Although Creaser actually got 39 frags himself. So, frag for frag, those two. They're going at it. Do you think Poland are potentially one of the favourites for the tournament then, Vor?
If they can put out their full lineup, no, I wouldn't say this is their strongest lineup. No disrespect to this lineup, but missing Verb, and I think without Verb, they're going to struggle to be, you know, the top team in this event. But they can get Verb playing, and if they can practice, then as in any Nations Cup, they're going to be one of the favourites.
There we go, so intervention will be map 2. Czech Republic's pick, so
we did see them play this brilliantly against Russia, although it has to be said Russia at the same time didn't play particularly well on either map on that occasion.
Teams will remain the same. Creaser, Debtor, Flatek and Frag for the Czech Republic. For Poland, Zik, Avek, West and Toxic. Seemingly no changes going to be made yet.
Hits. Impressive.
So, intervention has all the arsenal available. It has 2 yellows, a red, quad and a mega, so plenty of items on the map. Or how will you see this map played out, do you think?
Well, I'm going to be interested to see if the Czechs can do what they did against Russia, and that was they had great control of the red armour, but what they did so well was they only left one person at the red, and then the rest of the team were able to put great pressure onto the rail and yellow area, with a lot of times 3 of the team exerting that pressure. That made it so difficult for Russia to do anything on the map.
Do you think it's a map where teams need to rush red armor the whole time, try and get control of it? Or do you think it's perfectly viable to hold the other side of the map?
I will see with the weapon balance changes. It's the first time I've seen this map since those. I think you will struggle to attack red, because if the red armor can set up with LG, and if they could even get a rail back to red armor, then the architecture in that part of the map makes it incredibly difficult to attack.
Key locations on this map for Mega Health, maybe? Lightning gun?
Mega and lightning gun should be the key conflict areas, because both teams are going to want lightning gun. It's incredibly strong with the nerfs to machine gun and shotgun, and that mega area, that can be the deciding item as far as really having an advantage the map goes. The red players need that to give themselves more resources than the 2 yellows, and the 2 yellows really need it to make up for the fact they don't have that extra armor that the red gives.
Often a very good map for quad runs. Quad
yeah, we'll see
side.
a lot of action at the quad.
It's So
It's a good area to attack.
2 frags in 2 seconds. Excellent.
So, Czech Republic versus Poland. We're live on intervention, following Zik to start off with. So he gets a useful spawn with a lightning gun. You've got a few shards down there as well to work with. Creaser straight at the bounce pad against the shaft. Never a good thing, and it's 3-1 to Poland already.
Yeah, he must have not seen Zik go up there because that was just a terrible time to go up the bounce pad. You know,
Oh,
Zik looking right at you with that LG.
Excellent.
Matic getting those rail shots in early. Good work from him.
And rail shots from that kind of position are going to be so key to this map for whichever team isn't at red. Now, if you can't hit the rails to push back the team with the red, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Quad is up on its spot. Oh, Debtor goes down to Toxic's rocket. Could have been dangerous there. I think that's thought Creaser managed to grab the Mega Health in front of Havoc, so he was at quad. 2 frags the difference. Poland do control this red armor. Toxic does have it in hand. Frag getting an unlucky spawn against him. The shaft wasn't exactly efficient with the ammo.
No, it wasn't good because he spent all his ammo on that one player, and the LG are coming in. That's not what you need.
Not actually been under much pressure though. And the Czechs failed to capitalise there, you have to say. Red armour up in a second though, straight up the top of the bounce pad is Flatek. There's so much use of shotguns still, despite its weakening. 2 frags is the difference as the Czech Republic suddenly have control of this red armour area. It will be interesting to see what Poland do. We've got 40 seconds before quad, so will it be worth attacking red or stacking up on a couple of yellows each and then moving to the quad?
I think they need to really keep hold of whatever weapons they have at this point if they want to be able to defend the squad, because, you know, dying now, it makes it hard. Definitely have a weapon for defending quad with.
Creaser getting an impressive for the frag, and he's in an excellent position for this quad coming up. Stops the Polish push as well, up high. I think a few seconds, going to get this last red. He's going to be absolutely perfect for this quad. As long as he makes the jump, lands on it. There it is. We could see a really good run coming up. We could hear Polish player picking up the yellow there. He can't actually hear that.
Oh no.
Wow. And
We'll
if
be
he
happy about shotgun work.
does get the Mega out of it though, and if he hadn't double stacked that red, he might have been in more trouble than he is currently. Oh, eventually does go down to Zik's rail. But Flatek returning the favour. He's in 60% rail at the moment.
He's in some nice rails here, which is allowing, you know, them to keep the pressure up on Poland.
Oh, he got kind of unlucky there. Just getting the rail gun and then getting caught out as he dropped back to go on the bounce pad. Kind of failed the little jump up onto the top level.
Really good passage of play though for the Czechs. They've now pulled ahead 11 frags in the lead, and that was really all off the back of that last quad, even though it didn't really get that many frags.
Yeah, we can see Poland have been pushed to this yellow side of the map, but there we go, Czech Republic moving in, just cutting right through the middle with the lightning gun. It's Creasy. He steals a yellow off them. We just see the danger of having to try and hold 2 yellows so split apart and just down a tight corridor.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't keep the pressure on red, which, as we've said, is incredibly difficult just because the layout of red doesn't really, you know, support an attack on it. Now, that means one team can just leave one player at that red and then use the remainder of their team to put pressure on the yellows.
Currently on Debtor's point of view, does have the shaft. He's at quad. It's only 5 seconds away. No one else really there at the moment. Only Spawner. Oh, Poland's push is far too late, and it's just pretty much rash jumping. Czech
Yeah,
Republic
they
take
couldn't
the
have
quad
jumped
again
at much of a worse time than that.
against the shaft, and they've still got loads of ammo to work with. In fact, there is another lightning gun on the floor if you wanted it. Zik heard he was weak and just went in on the aggressive, taking the quad down. And let's see if Poland can win back this red for the next cycle of play. Red's up on its spot. Looks like Poland are going to get it. Zik only 4 health. Going to switch off him and see what's going on the other side of the map. Well, Avex spawned there. And he's gone down to Flatex. Machine gunner, though. More of a teamwork.
He's once again got a rail in his hand, and really his rail is dominant so far on this map. I don't know why he's even dropping it for a teammate. He's playing so well with it, he should keep it for himself.
Protecting his stats for stat padder.
Maybe he is.
10 frags the difference. 6 minutes played. Next items up will be the yellows. Oh my god, he just somehow ran through it almost. Just missed out on grabbing it, in fact, as he tried to make the jump to rail at the same time, and well, you won't want to watch that bit of the VOD back. See what are these Polish players doing as we follow Toxic. It's like whispering in each other's ears. Sweet nothings, maybe. Oh, a lag for Toxic there. We've got 15 seconds until the quad. Already
2
Poland there.
LGs to defend it with multiple rails. You'd fancy that this quad really should be going to Poland.
Should easily be there. Zik's even pushed out quite a far way to push the Czech players back. Look at the stacks of multiple players with armour there. Poland are going to clean up here on this run. You would bet.
This will tie us back up as well, and if the Czechs aren't careful here, you know, they could be in a real load of trouble for the next 2 minutes or so. And surprised he took that much damage.
Didn't do a great job of securing the red, did they? In fact, the Czechs have stolen the red right in front of their eyes, despite the quad having been for Poland. It's like almost like they got a little bit overexcited there. Vor went out, all of them went out for the frags and totally forgot about their strategy.
I didn't. Well, I think they assumed that West wouldn't have as much trouble as he did re-securing that red area. He seemed to struggle with the lightning gun to get the kill and took so much damage, and then ended up getting killed by that spawner behind the red. Wasn't the greatest quad run in the end.
Now they're picking up the mega. It goes down to impressive from Debtor. Didn't even get a chance to look at his stats. No doubt he was hitting some good rails. Toxic missing those rails though across the map. Frag getting in the back there, causing a bit of damage. Oh my god, where did that rail come from on Toxic?
I think Toxic's quite a high sense player. He's maybe not as suited to making those cross-map rails than some of the other members of his team.
Still a 10 frag difference to the Czech Republic. Poland were 10 frags behind. Stacked up, got the last quad, brought it back, and then they've just thrown it away again. Or the Czech Republic have played really well to build it back up again. But here we go, Czech Republic. This is amazing quad defense from them. Although, just a little bit late on fragging Toxic there. He was able to take out the quad.
Yeah, they had defended the quad so well, but they weren't able to take out Toxic, who was in that, you know, high position. You know, he decided he wasn't going to commit himself to quad and just make sure he could try and kill it, and he did that. You know, it's important. Sometimes important to know, you know, when to just not dive in for quad recklessly.
Poland won't want this to go to a third map. They would like a dominating 2-0, but at this rate it does look like Czech Republic might force it. And they have looked like a very good team, Czech Republic, in the matches we've seen them in and in practice. Zik just Playing a very campy game there. Going to follow Avik, who's racing around a bit. Usually the best point of view on a map. Look how aggressive he is. He went in with no armor and no lightning gun, not even any ammo to work with.
We did have rockets.
Caused a lot of trouble for the Czech Republic. His Polish teammate there, whoever that is, did just back him up briefly, but even without armor, Avik will go in and do so much damage and cause so much trouble for the opponents.
He is incredibly difficult to deal with because, you know, just like in Duel, he is so aggressive, but the timing of his aggression is just unbelievable at times. He knows exactly when to move in.
3, 2, 1 quad's going to be up in Poland way too late. Way too late for that. Frag was there for ages before the quad. In fact, his own teammates were too late for it, really. Just shows if you've got focus in your game, make sure you get the quads. Sometimes you get completely free quads like this. And look at the frags he's picking up.
Yeah, I mean, as well as the Czechs have played, you know, they're only ahead because of these quads, and so, you know, 2 or 3 of them now have been basically free quad pickups.
That was a bizarre switch of weapon away from lightning gun to try and hit some incredibly hard rockets. Didn't quite pay off for him. Avik's point of view again now. Zavik just used Czech player's head to move across to the 50 health. Make her up soon, and Avik's going to wait on it. Oh! Nice rail from Frag, takes him out. Didn't even spot Frag up there from Avik's point of view.
You can't see them from that angle.
It stayed at a pretty much the same difference in Frag so far for a while, Vort.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason this gap exists is just because of those quads that Poland haven't contested, and they can't actually get hold of some themselves. They might actually struggle to tie this up again. They've already been let back into the game a few times, only for the Czechs to then regain, you know, a decent margin.
Oh, West is going to be late for this quad if he doesn't hurry up now. He did just take the last red. He will be in above it. In fact, Poland will get it, but with nades makes the best of it.
God.
But that's just Avik for you, isn't it?
Yeah, unlucky there that maybe that nade didn't hit the railer. That would have been something special if it did, though.
So we now increase his point of view. 4 Kings player voted most valuable player of the last Clanbase Euro Cup season. He's always one to watch for his abilities in Team Deathmatch. He's credited, I would say, with the moments that got the win against Fnatic in the EMS final last season.
The final 2 or 3 minutes on BM7 certainly won it for his team.
And then we switch to Avik, another world-class player. Again, a great player to watch. Look how aggressive he is with the shotgun there, though. Devtor, excellent defensive rail work. He's got 73% rail vor. What is it about the rail percentages today? They're all so high.
Yeah, we've seen unbelievable rail percentages in our previous game, and continuing with this game.
It's another rail shot as West drops down with the shotgun, though. Really good aggressive attack from him. How are Poland going to bring it back, though? Is it just squads?
With quad, yeah, because really they haven't been any worse than Czech Republic between power-ups. It's only the power-ups that are the difference so far. If anything, Poland might even have a slight edge at the moment when it comes to the non-power-up play.
Just over 10 frag difference for the Czech Republic as they move in for this quad. Poland, where are they?
Impressive.
Greece Israel, very defensive, good play. It does go down, but it's not really what Poland want. They want to get some quad runs out of this. There's 2 quads left on the map now.
Yeah, and it's 19 frags for difference. It is possible to bring it back without quad, but I think almost the Czechs are too good at this map to allow that to happen.
Could be heading for a 3rd map here unless Poland can turn it around. We see an 18 frag difference, or well, 20 frag difference, sorry.
Impressive.
And obviously the pressure is on Poland to bring that frag difference back, which means they have to commit, where the Czechs can just sit back and wait for them to do that and pick them off.
Still 50 seconds to a quad, no use. Creaser committing to that quad area yet. Nice bit of plasma. Mega Health's not going to be spawning for a little while. Oh, very nice nade and toxic. It's not just a lucky nade. I mean, it's specifically placed there to block off that doorway from the aggressor pushing through. So it did its job perfectly. Someone like Kreese is such a good player to watch, to learn how to play team deathmatch. Although on that occasion he did almost get caught out, escaped really well. But West, such an aggressive push, seemed like he did have a red armor to defend himself with. Zik manages to get the quad, he doesn't want to get Cess down from above. Oh, nice shot with the rocket. Oh! Deptor with the rail out of nowhere again. Wow, this is silly. Look, 73% rail ball.
Yeah.
Every shot we see him hit. Just insane.
And if your team is playing the rails and you've got people hitting, that amount of rails at that percentage, then it is so incredibly difficult to then attack the rail side of the map.
We've got to look at the scoreline here. It's a 20 frag difference. We've only got 2.5 minutes left and 1 quad in what has been a slow scoring map where we've only seen the difference built up during the quads. I mean, you have to suggest that it's going to go to a 3rd map.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it at this stage, and as you said, the difference really is for quad. Poland just haven't been good enough on the quad play.
Do you think Poland are particularly weak on this map, or is it just the Czech Republic is so strong?
Well, I don't know what Poland eliminated, but I don't ever remember them playing this map in Quake 3, and it is, a very similar lineup what they were using in Quake 3. Being a Quake 3 map, I don't ever recall seeing them play this. Certainly we're never picking this map. It's unlikely that they consider it to be a strong map of theirs.
So CPM4 and Purgatory were the 2 maps eliminated.
Yeah, and I'm guessing it was Poland that eliminated Purgatory.
Toxic getting this last quad. It's going to be some kind of legendary run here.
1 minute warning.
Being hit by that direct rocket, it's made such a difference to the momentum of this quad run. He can't afford to go majorly aggressive. Well, that's 2 nice kills. Had they done more of this throughout the match, we might be looking at quite a different result.
Czech Republic players dying seconds of the quad run, just fading into the background. So a 3rd map is going to be, what do you suggest is going to be picked?
Well, we must have OSP5, Grim Dungeons.
No, Grim Dungeons got played.
Oh, sorry. I mean, what's that other one?
Dreadful Place.
Dreadful Place, yeah. Sometimes I get those two mixed up. And what would be the other remaining map? The M20.
Hidden Fortress.
Yeah.
Well, I would suggest that Poland enjoy both Deep Inside and Hidden Fortress.
Well, Poland are most likely gonna...
Get
Who has the
pick.
better frag difference? Yeah,
Poland.
they're gonna get to pick which map. But I don't know. If I was Poland, actually, I might actually choose to eliminate first and just eliminate Dreadful Place, because I think they'd be happy with either DM20 or OSP5.
So I'm just going to stop the VOD. I will restart it again for the third map.